Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. This is a layout that I have kind of had in my head for a while, and the idea started because I've had this die set. I got it used, I think when a friend moved, she gave it to me, and I envisioned using these speech bubbles to create a background, like a tone-on-tone background. And then for Scraptember, the prompt for today, day 12, is tone on tone. And I thought, white on white would be tone on tone. And also for Ginger's Corner Around the World Hop, the book featured for this one is The Flower Man. I don't know anything about the book, but the challenge is to create a black and white layout, even black and white photos, no color except for 3 full color flowers, and a gray mouse as your embellishments. I haven't figured out the mouse yet. I don't have anything with a mouse except a little Christmas mouse, and that isn't going to work. But here's what I do have. I have this photo of me and one of my favorite 10-year-olds, and we had about 40 minutes to kill early this morning. Dan and I were headed to the event center in Tennessee where we were all together for an event, and she wanted to go earlier than her family. So she rode along with us, but Dan was headed to play golf that morning, so it was a little early before either of the things we were going to do had begun. So we found these rocking chairs outside and we had a seat and we had the nicest conversation. I miss this little girl immensely, and I just sat there feeling so grateful that we had this time together, and it was just the two of us. Often there's lots of other people around and lots of things going on, and we just really enjoyed sitting there and talking. And so I thought these conversation speech bubbles would be perfect. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim this photo down just a little bit. I will probably back this white cardstock on black. For the 3 colorful flowers, I am going to use some of these from Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Lemon Twist, because I have this flower, I have this one, and then there's a small one here, and I thought that would work out well. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do about the mouse, but maybe I can find one to print or something. So what I did, it took a long time to use the die set and cut out all these speech bubbles. And first, I cut them out of plain cardstock, and my plan was to just do layer 2 of them together so they had some dimension to them, and glue them on my page. And then I thought, what if I did the top layer in this glossy cardstock? So I cut a bunch of those out, and now I can't decide which way to go. So I'm going to glue a few together each way, lay them down on the paper, and think about it a little bit. Either way, I have enough speech bubbles cut to probably last me 10 years, because I don't think I will ever use all of these. But that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a few of each and make a decision, map my photo, and maybe see about the mouse, and then I'll be back. So I made the decision not to go with the glossy, not because I didn't like it, but because it was a different shade of white than the white background paper, and it's just its own unique shade of white. So I opted to just layer up 2 of the plain cardstock ones each, and I have arranged them on the 12 by 12. Never fear, I did not film all of the gluing here. I believe I cut out from that in just a second. But once I get all of those down, or I thought they were all down, there's the little mouse I found, and here's what I did. I used my Christmas stamp set. I used Post-it notes to cover up the other 2 mice and the little Christmas tree ornament, and stamped it with weathered wood ink, oxide ink, and I am so happy with it. So now I'm thinking about a title. And at first I was going to use this happy. And the reason I'm cutting around all of these, the acid or the, I don't know, thick stickers, is because these are so sticky. If they stick one little bit, you are committed. And I wasn't sure where I wanted things, so I cut them out with the acetate behind them so I could move them around. Then I cut out the little mouse, and I just used a gray colored pencil to color her gray. And I end up sitting her in a little speech bubble in the bottom left. And she doesn't have a thing to do with the layout, but she sure is cute. So I'm okay with that. And that colored pencil is actually a one of Stampin' Up's old watercolor pencils. I've had them probably 20 years. And I doubt I used the gray very much. That's why it's still so long. The pinks and blues and yellow are much shorter that I have left. Okay, so I have matted my photo white, then black. I tried out 2 other titles other than the happy, and I decided I was going to use this one that says loving this. And as I look at the finished layout, I should have positioned the 2 words a little bit closer together, but I didn't. And I'm not moving them now. So now I decide I need a little more of the acetate cut off so I can get those exactly where I want them. And then I did some journaling in 3 speech bubbles below the photo. And then in the top right, I put where we were and the date. And in the top right, when I first started, I made a mistake in spelling Sevierville for Sevierville, Tennessee. So I just cut another one of those same speech bubbles, covered up the mistake, and rewrote it. So that worked out really well. And the way you see the flowers now is the way they end up on the final one. I used that little yellow flower, kind of like a little shelter for the mouse, and I thought that worked out pretty well. And I just wrote about our morning and that we were there early and it was just the 2 of us and how nice it was to chat with this little girl and how grateful I was for that time together. I am for that time together. And I think here's where I make my mistake. Yep. And I'm like, oh, I can't fix it. So I paused everything. That was one of the shiny ones. I was going to see if I could use that, but no. So I paused everything. I also added a thick sticker that says Grateful Heart, and it's in black and white, so it still fits within the rules for Ginger's Corner. And all I did then was add some little black dots. So I'm at the end. Remember, this is for Ginger's Corner Around the World Hop for Scraptember. Day, what day is it? 12 for Tone on Tone. And also I used the die set that was in my Counterfeit kit for the month of September. So this fits all 3 of those. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really happy that you're here. Hope you enjoyed the video. I would love a thumbs up or a comment. I hope you get to scrap something soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.